Hello folks, welcome back to the another episode. So today we're gonna see Linux containers, how we running in the OpenShift orchestration, right? Simple thing. Usually we will use to create the pods in the dashboard, but in this episode we're gonna work in the CLI also. So that's it. So we will create a project and we will deploy a container and we will take RSH remote shell and we will run some commands and we will do some debug through the node and we will inspect them with the PID and we will find out where the pod is running in the particular worker node and we will execute in the worker node and we will check the process, right? Okay, we'll see. So first we will log in into CLI, right? So we'll search for already logged in, right? Login, right? Through administrator we will log in. Now first we will log in the developer. So through that we're gonna create a project. I tested with some commands, so it will very easy. So before that, so there is a few difference are there. So let me explain. What are the difference between this developer perspective and the administrator perspective? Usually, developer perspective is used to manage the workloads, services, and a few more applications are later. We can work among them through the developer perspective. Administrative, we can like troubleshooting and granting the permissions and delegate some rights like role bindings and user management and mostly will troubleshoot through the administrative perspective, right? So uh, some developers will try to create a container like root containers. So in the aspects they can't create a um, full granted root privileged container. So at the time they want to shift that to the administrator perspective, right? We're gonna test that. So I have a few commands. So a developer can't run a pod with a administrative privilege. Okay, for example, see I logged in with the developer, right? So we'll see this container will run in which ID. See, I can't create also because developer can't access the resource pods. He can't create any pods, right? So what he can create? Okay, so okay, he can create a new pods like a namespace. Okay, right? We will test with this new namespace with the project OC new project. New project, what's the use? So we want to create a new project. We should use the new project command like new namespace, right? Get project and OC project will shift to the projects. See OC projects, you are not a member of any project, right? See this developer don't have any much privilege. So what we're gonna do, simply we're gonna create a project with the simple privileges, right? See, we will describe this project, what are permission with what privilege it's running, right? OC describe project PROGCT project container, right? So you can see, so everything is running in the non-privileged permissions, right? See, okay, then so we're gonna create, we'll test to create a pod, right? We'll try to create this with the same command. Okay, in this self provisioner permission is there for the developers. For some of the developers, self provisioner privilege will be there. Administrator used to remove them while creating users. So that's why he can able to create. So now I hope he can able to create the part with the non-root, right? See, you can see UID which are not a root. Okay, oh, see, good, right? It's completed. It's shown the who am I and ID, and it got completed. So restart never. That means it won't restart again, right? Once it's completed, like job is done and it will complete. So now we can delete that. See, delete pod UBI 9 hyphen user. Okay, well they have deleted, and now we're gonna switch to the admin and we will see in which privilege it gonna run, right? So by default, whatever we're creating the pods in the administrator perspective under, so those will run with the security like full privileged. So far there is in a DO 280 we're gonna see the security context constraint. So those are applicable to restrict the container which gonna access like restrict from the file system from the direct host access or privilege which we want to restrict, and um, uh, lot of things are there with the SCC. So we will look on the DO 280 training. Okay, right? So those are running, this pod is running the root privilege, right? So now we're gonna delete. So now we're gonna check. So basically, so how easily we can create a pod, that's the thing. So usually we can use the help command to describe how we can easily get the sub commands. So we can utilize that. See, OC create is there to create the deployments, kinds, whatever. But to run a pod, so to directly run a pod without a deployment, we should use the OC run. See, help, we can use the help command. So we can see here privilege false. You can give the, there is a restart always. That means the restart policy for this pod for every 5 minutes is keep on restart. See, always on failure it will keep on restart. Never means it won't restart any by chances, right? These are the main restart policies. And privileged, if true, run the container in the privileged mode. So we can give the hyphen privileged is equal to true, and the security SAC will go off, and this will uh, privilege the container to run in the root user, right? Okay, now what we want exactly, see, these are the very simple commands. We can just copy and paste. We can do the dry run check, and we can check the YAML file, and we want to modify something, we can modify, or rather we can directly. So this is the main thing. See, command arguments, how much we can pass, right? So for example, these are the arguments, right? Command and arguments. We passing environmental command, environmental. So those we are passing as arguments. Okay. Now see, these are the very easy. See how easy is it? OC run nginx hyphen name. That's it. It will run the pod. So creating. Just we will watch this. See, now it's running. Okay, we'll go back. We'll check this. Okay, it's running, right? So now we'll check OC logs, Nginx, what is there? Say what? Start worker process 24. These are the logs, right? Okay, we will execute in this pod. Nginx, right? We are inside. Who? I am. W is not working. Date. Hope that should work. See, right? Okay, there is a script. We'll use that to test it. Say we want to check the logs, right? So we can keep running the command and we can get out the terminal. So there is an option, so right? This is not a good thing. Okay, we will. So there is only one container is running, right? We will try to attach Nginx. Yeah. So with the Nginx part, it's not working. So I'm using UBI, so which is recommended in the training. So that is fine there. And so we will use a while loop to continually run the script, which used to produce the date for every 2 seconds, I think so. So for every second it will run that, right? So what we gonna do, so we can disconnect this and we can connect it back with the attach command. So see, we can see, so it's a terminal inside the pod. Exit, and see, they can suggest the session we can resume with this attach command, right? So the process will be continue. So I think it got completed. OC get pod, it's running it. Yeah, it's attached, right? See, we can run the command again, so it will continue the process, right? With the same container. See, this is the container name which we used to take an RHS before, and now it's connecting the same container with the command, attach command, right? So we'll exit and we will check the logs, OC logs, and the pod name UBI 9-command. OC not found? Seriously? Okay, we'll exit the first. Okay, right. Where it's went? Exit. Okay. This is the logs it's showing. That means we given the exit. That is the logs it's showing. See, and so these are the logs. It's produced in the container, right? So try to attach again. Yeah, it's attached, and now we are exiting. If we check the logs, it will show the logs. These are we ran. See, exited. Last exit showing. All right. Okay. If in case we can't find the pod, in case CLI is failed and we can't access the web console also. right? Sometimes, uh, no, sorry. If we can't get the pod details here, but the pod is still running, we get the details like that, and we can check inside the worker node, right? So in this CLI, it's in a window power cell. We can't grab a lot of things, so we can go for the web console, compute nodes, and CRC. So this is a node, only one node, and we can enter into the terminal, right, and run this command. So it will mount the host, right. Now we want to know the process ID of the pod and which namespace it's running, and we're gonna execute inside the pod, right, from the node. So it's not like usually we will go from the utility. So but this time we will enter into the pod container from the worker node, or which worker node it's running. From there we're gonna enter, right. This is the one of the way when we are troubleshooting something, we're gonna find the PSI, like process ID, PID, and we're gonna enter into the container. Okay, we done. So we want to find the container critctl, that means in worker node critctl ps we will use, and name of the pod, and we gonna export that as a JSON. So over in the JSON we gonna find dot containers and ID, right. So see, we gonna see the result. See ID. So for example, how it will extract JSON container. In this we can see, right, ID container. In the container jQuery, not sure, or container ID, right. We got the container ID. Now we will copy this, and with this we want to inspect the PID. We want to find the PID. critctl ps ID. Next, what do we want to use? Inspect, right. Okay, so we'll use the inspect, and this is the ID, and we will grab. Okay, before we will see this, in this we're gonna grab the PID. Okay, environmental variables and API. So now we will grab it. CPID. This is the PID of the container, right. So now we got the PID of the container, right. So first what we did, with the name we have searched the process, and we inspected, and we got the PID, and now we will listening ports. We want to find the ls ns hyphen p PID da. Right, this many PIDs are there which are running at different services, right. And process So these are the namespace, right? And now we will enter into the namespace. So to enter the namespace, ns namespace enter, right? So we will enter -t -t target PID, paste the PID, and -a, right? All containers. So now we enter into the container, like all container. So now right now we are in the UBIA command pod, right? So now we will check who is not working, date, yeah, it's working. So this is the way we can enter into that and we can check. Right guys, first we with the host name we figure it out, um, what's the PID, and we uh, find the processes and we enter into the namespace and we check the status of the pod. That's it. Thank you guys. We'll see you in another episode.